Oh, don't worry, I'm not a good aim. So, Greg Lawrence is back as promised, and Greg does such a great job. He is a textile and design expert, has worked in the field for many, many years. Greg, I have to say, when I looked at this, it reminded me of being a kid and sleeping over at my Grammy and Granddad's because they had a chenille bedspread.
It's the first thing I thought when I saw this too.
Is it?
And when I was a little boy, I used to go to my grandmother's house and I used to call them birthday bedspreads because they look like birthday cakes. You know when you decorate a birthday cake and it has that? Chenille is the French word for caterpillar.
Yeah.
And it almost
Beautiful.
looks like that when you see all the little fuzzies. It's 100% cotton, very soft, very lightweight, perfect for this time of year, but also good as we transition into fall.
Well, you know what's the nice thing about this is really, and you know, sometimes I go back and I say to myself, seriously, do I have that right? Whether I want the twin, the full, the queen, or the king, it's 4 months at $24.99. It is a whole transformation because you are getting, with the twin, you get one sham because you don't need more than that when it comes to this. In the others, the full, the queen, the king, you get 2 shams, and then you get a bedspread. And a bedspread, the beauty of a bedspread is that's all you really need to transform that.
You don't need a dust ruffle. And this is by customer request. We do lots and lots of comforters, but people said, we want a bedspread and we love chenille. Could you come up with a wonderful old fashioned looking bedspread that has chenille, that evokes that, you know, the 1940s when the men came home from war, and the 1950s with corsages and pin curls and, you know, the fun cars with fins. That's what this looks like. It also comes in 3 lovely colors.
Yes, nice.
Let's go through.
Deep colors.
It's very
too.
saturated. On the bed, we're calling this sage. It's a mid-tone emerald green. If you decorate with florals, this is wonderful because most floral prints have green leaves in them. As we come down to the bottom, I've spread them out because it's important for the light to hit this just right because you'll see the wonderful wedding ring pattern. This is ivory.
Wouldn't that be beautiful in a room?
It's just lovely with a shabby chic look or dark furniture, anything.
And listen, it's under $100.
It's lovely.
So it's not like you spent $300, $400, $500, $600 to redo your room.
Right. So the ivory's that sugary off-white, and our last choice,
look how beautiful
burgundy. It's a deep, rich Merlot, and as it catches the light, whether you turn the lamps on in the evening or as the sun streams through, you see that wonderful wedding ring pattern. And Pat, we traditionally see wedding ring patterns on quilts, and that's that interlocking ring that symbolizes fidelity and eternal love. And I love how it's been translated into this wonderful textural chenille.
Now, this is easy care.
It is. Throw it in the washing machine, throw it in the dryer on low. And that's all. And it's 100% cotton. And the more you wash it, the more you dry it, the more lustrous it gets. And that's the best thing about chenille.
Now, if you, and no matter what kind of bed you have, you can use it when you have something like this, a bedspread. The beauty of a bedspread is if you're someone who doesn't like a lot of fuss, you pull up the bedspread. You wouldn't even really have to use the shams if you didn't want to. There is enough room here. You can do the old-fashioned tuck with the pillow.
Tuck, which reminds me so much of my grandma.
Yes, me too.
The other reason it reminds me of my grandmother, my poor grandmother, all the years I knew her, had horrible arthritis. And she was at a point where she couldn't make a bed if it had a big, heavy comforter on it. The best thing about this is it's substantial, but it's very lightweight and fluid. So it really just puddles into itself. So it's not heavy, it's not difficult to make the bed, it's very fluid. So if anybody has range of motion issues, or even children, it's very easy and lightweight for them to make the bed. But again, I love that old-fashioned pillow tuck, right?
Yeah.
And you can use the shams with it. So what I like to do is do the pillow tuck because it's very generous, and then put the shams in front. I think it's very stunning. And also because we work in bed, these shams make nice sort of, you know, propping pillows too. So if you work in bed with your iPad or talk on the phone or watch QVC, before you really get under the covers, this is just nice support behind you.
You know, those of us who remember chenille growing up, this is a very lush chenille. Chenille, I remember, used to be sort of very low pile. This is, you can see the highs and lows. You could stick your fingers in between. That's the beauty of it. And it would be easy to take this and just, you know, roll it back and jump into bed. But look at the lushness.
And there's full coverage to it. There's nothing skimpy about it. Sometimes you see chenille in the cheaper versions where it's 80% background and there's a little bit of design, maybe in tone on tone or a few colors. This has marvelous lush coverage in that wedding ring pattern. I like the fact that it gives you depth and dimension, but it's not going to fight if you have Royal Palace rugs on the floor or floral draperies or, plaid sheets or something with
pattern. But it's not boring. It's not just like a plain cover.
Exactly.
I love what you just said, Greg, because, sometimes you don't have a whole lot of money and, company's coming and you've got that spare room. Or, the dog and the cat and the kids have been on the bed and you're not loving your bedroom when you walk in and see the biggest piece of furniture. Under $100 for twin, full, queen, king, and 4 months to pay for it. All right, here's our update. If you want the twin, burgundy last call. There are, there's 4 dozen total in the twin. We have the full, ivory last call on that. 2 dozen burgundy, 3 dozen sage, and then that will be completely sold out. In queen, burgundy last call, 150 ivory, 200 of the sage, and then king in burgundy. Burgundy in king, burgundy last call. Ivory's good and sage is good on that. And king size bed. Stop for a second. When last time you thought, well, I'm going to redo my room, how much, if you had that king or queen size bed, did it cost you? It cost you a small fortune. And listen, this is life. You don't want to say, well, the dog has to be down here. And you know that that's where they go when you're at work, even if they're good when you're there. This is an opportunity also to gift. Maybe your mom or someone you love is in a nursing home or assisted living. This would be something simple and homey and cozy and very nostalgic, Greg.
Especially this green color. We're calling it sage, but it really is sort of a mid-tone emerald.
I agree
think
with
of
you.
Scarlett O'Hara.
Yeah.
I just think of times when deals were done on a handshake and we knew our neighbors and we had front porches.
And when we spent our summers laying on the ground, looking at the clouds,
and
trying to
dreaming
figure out what
of
they
being
were.
QVC hosts.
Yeah.
But it just feels marvelous. I love the green because it's such a chameleon. If you have a cherry pencil post bed or a mahogany sleigh bed, it would look great. White wicker, terrific.
Yes.
If you decorate with florals again, this is very lovely because it's very, it just reminds you of the earth. Absolutely. This is going to hold up with washing and drying. This is the opposite side, but I want you to see just how fluid this is. So it's not stiff. It feels nice as a layering piece. It feels great just against your skin.
It has a pretty pattern that's subtle that will work with anything. $99.98. The way you get the 4 easy pays is choose any of the major credit cards or your Q card, and you're all welcome to do that no matter how many times you shop with us. It's a little nostalgia with our Grammy.
It is. I love Chenille.
Love it. You're coming back, though, because you have a 7-piece set that's at a summer surprise price.
See you soon.
We have that coming up. Thank you, Greg. Now, Greg brought this a little bit